pretty good. That's exactly what I want right there. Well, everybody in YouTube land, been a minute, done a bunch of stuff, and I figured I see all these videos coming out with all these VK56 builds starting up, so I already got mine going, so I figure I better start to get some content going on them if I really want to be relevant in this whole situation. And I'll tell you what, let me put this thing over, see if I can switch it while you guys are on here. I'm gonna do something, we'll see whether it works or not. I'm gonna fire up all three of my little hot rods I've been playing with. Let's see, I'll be right back with you. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try, since, I don't know, this is the only one I fired up recently. This is my 2JZ Fox body. And this is the only one that's been started up within the day this morning. So I'm gonna try to fire them all three, see if they fire up. But the main thing is to get some content on that car right there, since everybody's jumping to the VK56. But let's fire this one up to start. Oh yeah. No problem with that one. She fired right up. Now, let's try this little one. I'm gonna throw some videos in of this car. I just ran it last week. I'm probably gonna run it this week as well. Try to get some 60 foot sorted out on it. She's running pretty good. I think it ran a 590 or something like that. But let's see if she fires up. I didn't unhook the battery, so it might be dead. We'll find out. Oh, she's promising. Let's jump in here real quick. See if we can get it started. I may have to hold it a little bit. All right. Probably gonna want to die. Just gotta warm up a little bit. Sounds pretty good though for a little four banger. Well, there's just sitting here trying. Let's see if I can get the old VK56 fired up. Well, this has not been fired for a while. No, she just died. She needs a little love, or she needs a idle stabilizer valve. Let's see what this one does. Shut this one off real quick so you guys can hear it. Well, we'll rev this one up real quick. This one's fun. I like the 2JZ, the Ripper. Oh yeah, gotta love that one. All right, we'll shut this one down. Go back over to the other one. Well, maybe we'll shut the green car off. This one's got a noisy fuel pump. But let's see if it'll fire right back up. Might need a little love itself. That's the VK56. Cold start, hadn't been started for 2 weeks. So let's shut this off so it doesn't kill the battery. Yeah, she's gonna need a little bit of love to hold her up. But anyway, you get the point. And I will, I'm gonna throw in some content here of all right, now we'll kill it. Needs to warm up. Been shut down too long. But all right, come back at you here in a second. All right, now that I fired them all up to show they're all running. Well, you know, I can keep them running if I wanted to warm them up, but let's just go over what we've got and I'll explain some of the videos and try to pitch them in between here, maybe if I edit it properly. It's the biggest problem with doing the YouTube is the editing. But anyway, I'm gonna get to it. So basically, I'm gonna put a couple videos in here of the Shinobi 2JZ Fox. This one, I raced what is the biggest race down here in the valley. I don't remember what it was, March something or other. So it's been a few months, but I ran that. I entered in I put in all the interior stuff and plates and all that, insurance, the whole deal, and entered in the street and outlaw street. It was supposed to be over 2 days, but we had a rain, so then it ended up going to 1 day. So we raced it. I think we raced it on Saturday, yeah, and they combined outlaw street and street, and I ended up winning, which was great. $5,000 pot. I'll throw in a video of the actual race from the competitor that I was in the final with me, that he had a Insta 360 on the back of his car. It's a pretty cool video. I'll put that in there. His name's Rocco, just to give credit to him. Maybe I'll throw in a couple other little videos that I got from it. So that's this car. That's what's happened with this. So what I ended up doing after that is I went ahead and used some of that winnings and went ahead and built the other engine was an 88 millimeter block. And so the potential for cracking it was pretty high because it's a big bore and they don't have a lot of meat left. So I went ahead and built a smaller bore engine that's in it now, and everything else is the same. Putting a bigger turbo on it next, probably, but we'll see. That car, really, I'm just going to set it for 530, I think, and leave it be. This car, the Camaro, I did get it running. I spooled it up. I'll show some videos in here of the spool up. Videos up running. I'll show my only time I took it to the track, and all I wanted to do at the track was to try to do a burnout and to try to stage it up and try to 60-foot it, not even really 60-foot it, just like get used to the car, because it's a brand new car. I built the 4-link, all that stuff. If you look at the previous videos, you'll see in there that I did the 4-link, built the transmission. Everything is brand new on it, so I don't want to get too crazy about it. So I ended up taking it to the track. Had some weird things happen. The bump box, I was trying to run it through the ECU, but the initial bump was really aggressive, and then it would creep. So, but I can't figure out yet how to fix that, but I'll figure it out. One way or another, I'll either do that or put the smooth stage on there. But anyway, I like it. I was able to make, so I'll run through the night of some of the things that happened and why I didn't continue to run it and why I'm not continuing to run it. Basically, like I said, the bump box was acting funny. I had some settings in the ECU that if I ran it starting at about 120 degrees, the warm-up enrichment was on until about 140. so the air fuel ratios looked good, and I hadn't been running it at full temperature, so it was looking good. Well, there's no intercooler on that, so I went ahead and did the 50-50 E85 methanol mix and changed the storage to compensate for that. But I then let it warm up a little bit, and when that happened, it pulled 20% of fuel across the board. So it was lean, didn't want to spool up, was having issues, got frustrated, came back, played with it for a little bit, fixed it, and then I go to make what would have been my final run, and the battery on the laptop was dying. Came up with the screen, it was dying, and I have laptops that I can just change the batteries out. So I undid the laptop, shut everything down, put the new battery on the laptop. Lo and behold, throw the laptop back on it, doesn't communicate with the car. Well, the unfortunate thing is, I was able to pull the tune back from the log that I had just previously done, but I had built a custom dash, configured a custom dash in it, and this is on the AMP EFI, just so everybody knows, it's Tuner Studio, and I configured a real nice dash for it with safeties on each gauge, and it's real nice that you can do that. But what happened was it flipped for some reason, I don't know whether it was the way it was originally configured or what, but I had to make a dash real quick using the stock configuration that they send you. Well, it had flipped, or I had done it at one point, I don't know, but it made my coolant pressure sensor my oil pressure, and my oil pressure my coolant pressure. So as soon as I gave it any throttle, it would just kill it because it thought it only had 3 pounds of oil pressure when in fact it had 60, 70. So that was frustrating. But prior to that, I had gotten the fueling sorted and the timing sorted, and I ended up making 20 pounds of boost on the trans brake. Now, I don't have a video of it. Nobody was there videoing it. I was just doing it. Or at least there was people there, but we weren't videoing that. I do have some videos of launch. Very, it's like you might as well forget it because I had a couple of issues. That I ran into that were causing me problems with one of the coils, that I think I didn't have the electrode of the coil wire down far enough with those Hemi plug deals, so it wasn't making connection, and then it would shut the coils down, and really couldn't tell until I went under power that it was causing like it just didn't sound good, it was real lazy, and that's that. So we'll get back to it. I got some things I want to do. Realistically, I just want to build the good engine because this is a stock rod engine, stock piston engine, and I just wanted to get everything configured, try it a couple times, get a built short block, which I'm not sure exactly. We should talk about that a little bit because there are a lot of VK. I saw Mr. Sam put out his VK, a couple other guys have put out his VK. Eric Jarvis has been making great power with his VK and running good times. Obviously, John Rogers, godfather of this whole thing, that Ricer John on YouTube, he was the first one to do it in the stick shift 240, and is making, he's already ran 680 with it at over 200, so it's got a lot of promise. I know Eric Jarvis already went a 443, I think, with his, so there's a lot of potential in this engine, and I'll interject some clips of pictures of the engine and all that stuff in here, just so you're not looking at my face talking this whole time. But And that brings us to the final. I'm going to keep this short because I know these things run on, and I'm notorious bad for that. But my dog is chasing after something, who knows what. But then we got this little guy, little green monster, that if you look at that car right there, forget the Chevelle, that's a customer's car that I'm working on. But this little guy, I'll throw some videos in of this car. And this guy right here. So what had happened with this car was that I had been racing it a little bit, and I ended up welding the forward clutch, I think it's a forward clutches in this, from just stalling it up. And I basically pulled it apart, fixed the clutches, changed all the clutches in it, just went through it. But what I did not do, like an idiot, is I did not pull the valve body apart. And came back to bite me, because after I did the transmission in it, it worked for, like 15, 20 minutes driving around, got on it a few times, it was fine. But then it ended up acting like it was stuck in 2 gears when it was in first and when it was in third. And then it just wouldn't go right. Second gear and high gear, fourth gear were good, but the other 2 gears were garbage. So I let it sit for a while. And then I ended up building another transmission, which I don't even know if I want to show this part of the shop because I have cardboard piled to the hilt over here. But I ended up building this transmission right here, this one. And that transmission is fresh. And I put the 5-disc high gear clutch in it, or the Ford, whichever one it is. I forget what they call it on this thing. I need to probably figure that out, but regardless, I built it. I did the throttle body modifications with the Transgo shift kit set up, and then I was going to put that transmission in. But after I played with that, that valve body, I damn near just put that valve body in this setup. But I thought, you know what? Let's just pull this valve body. So I pulled the valve body off of this green car, pulled it out, checked all, and sure enough, there were stuck shift valves. And the actual shift solenoids, the little filter baskets that were there, were just clogged up with clutch material. So I pulled it out, cleaned it, and you'll see this right here. So it ended up running pretty good. Got some craziness first time on the track with the slicks all the way around, these little slicks, and showed some promise. It went a 143 60 foot with some honestly nonsense. Like it was porpoising. So I'm gonna make some adjustments for Friday. I think I'm gonna take this back on Friday again this week, and I might post a video on that, just a recap video of it. But I'm gonna go ahead and I talked to some guys that have these Colts that are fast. It's short wheelbase, all-wheel drive. So what it ends up doing is it'll spin the fronts and grab the rears and pull a little wheelie. and the front spin, so it releases all the power to the rear the way the drivetrain is designed. So and then it does that over and over again. So it does like little wheelies, it just porpoises. And that's, it's not good on the drivetrain, it's not good on the engine, but it's also not good for times. I found turning it down and pulling a bunch of timing out of it, I actually got my best 60 foot. So what I'm gonna do is, what was recommended is, basically, I knew I needed to do it probably before I went, but I just wanted to make sure the transmission was working and everything. But what I wanted to do with it was, what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to lower the tire pressure in the front down to 8 to 10, like they run on a front wheel drive, and then around the rear, probably around 14, 15, something like that. I have a 60-pound weight bar that I'll probably put onto the front cross member, just attach it with some T-bolt clamps to where it has some extra weight in the front. And then final thing, I'm going to put up on the lift before I do this, but the final thing I'm going to try, and I'm going to test it ahead of time to see how easy it is, I'm going to change, this does have a 4-link in it. It's a really cool little car, honestly. I posted it on here before, so you guys can look back on it, but see if I get the camera to go right, because I'm not good at this. But it's a 4G64 powered with a 4G63 head, all that nonsense, but it's it's pretty cool. It runs out real nice. Like I said, it ran a 590 something, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't real fast. But I had it turned down, and that was the best run of the night. So the other one kind of went sideways. The other one was just jerky, but it had good mile per hour, but it was just not a good 60 foot. So I think if I can get the 60 foot, so back to what I was going to do is it has a 4-link. So I'm going to change the bars to give it more of a radial separation setup, and that'll drive some weight to the front and not allow it to squat in the rear. So I'm hoping between the tire pressure, works. Because if the tire pressure works, I don't have to change the rear suspension. I did change the shocks, tighten them all up. That helped out a lot. But I'm gonna do that, and if worst comes to worst, I'll change the 4-link, and then we'll get a new video for next week. But that's all for now. I'm not gonna keep rambling on. I just want to share something, since there's so many people got VKs going now that, well, let me, since I am talking about it, I'll put you guys right here real quick, and I'll yank the hood off and give you a little overview of it. Oh, and that car right there, I just found out a guy finally beat my time with a transaxle 944. PB, the record for it had been a 1070 for 12, 14 years, I don't know, something like that. But I've had it forever. And then a guy over in England put together a VR6 one that's basically a race car. And he ended up, he ran a 1060, not quite as much mile per hour as I ran, but I found out that he ended up with putting in I think it's an 01E diesel transmission, if I'm not mistaken. Get this hood off here real quick. It's kind of a two-man operation, but I know how to do it by myself. Right over here. So, what might happen is I might start working on this car again. It's been about 7 years because I haven't figured out what I wanted to do with it. Because I was really thinking to do a Ford rear end, and put a regular just put a longitudinal. Is it longitudinal? Yeah, longitudinal setup in it. It is longitudinal anyway, but it has a torque tube. But I was going to eliminate the torque tube. But now that he's got that working, I think I'm just going to go ahead and copy the setup that he did, because he's getting 142 60 foot. Well, I don't even need a 142 60 foot for what I want. If I ran a 150, 160, I'd be happy. If that car runs a 990, I'll be good. And I know the power, I'll be able to do it. That one runs 990 shutting off at the 8th. This one will certainly run a 9 with the same engine combo, running it all the way out. But anyway, I'll end with this. This is the engine combo in the car. So it's basic, pretty basic, shitty welds, because I'm not a good welder. And my machine, I had a setting on I forget what it was, the 4T, 2T. I had a setting bad, so I welded the whole thing with a whole bad setting. But it's cheap. This is a cheap intake right here. Factory exhaust manifolds, VS G42 mirror image turbos. So they're supposed to make 1,200 a piece. So it should make enough for like 1,500, 1,600, I think. And it's a stock engine for now, but that's what we're working with. And the car itself is weighs 2610 with me in it. I did the 4-link like I showed in the other video, and got everything. Obviously, I had everything working, and I did put the extension on the wheel so I can actually drive it nicer. And I sit pretty low and way back with it, so it's kind of hard to see out of. But anyway, I'll update this as we go, and that'll be it for now. And thank you all for watching. And you know, like, subscribe, don't, whatever, unsubscribe. I ain't got a lot of subscribers, but I'm hoping with the VK, I really want to see what this engine can do. I know a lot of guys are going to start pushing it, and I know Eric now is going to really start pushing it because he's got the spare engine together. And so I'm really excited to see how far he goes with it. He's already made 2,200 horsepower with the engine before he started leaning on it. So I think he'll probably be, 25, 26, and that's hub horsepower through 400. So that's a pretty good number, to be honest with you. But that's it. I'm going to chop this video up. It's going to end up being real choppy, I'm sure of it, because I'm going to throw racing videos in between all this, so please forgive that. But whatever, you watch it, you don't, you don't. And then you get installation to cover up all this mess. But I don't worry so much about the shop. I like playing with cars. So the shop, who cares? But I love playing with these cars. They're fun. And oh yeah, I still got my little truck back there that has gotten the most views on Instagram of all my vehicles for some unknown reason. Got like 200,000 likes and shares and whatever the heck they do. And just for driving and grabbing some tortillas. It was pretty hilarious. But anyway, that's all for now, guys.